Mission Pro Wrestling, the symbol of excellence in women's sports entertainment.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a special Friday episode of Mission Pro Spotlight. I am, of course, Mind Runner, not Mid Runner, as Thunder Rosa likes to call me. But anyways, we are rocking on this Friday evening because our special guest at this time is none other than... And here she is, Mia Friday, TGIF.
Yes, sir. Happy Friday. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. And of course, you've got to be doing awesome because this is your day.
Couldn't be feeling any better.
Yes. And being champ, you're the diamond, they call you the diamond champ now. Is that how it's, are you the diamond diva, or they don't use the word diva at all?
Diamonds Division Champion.
Diamonds Division Champion. Okay, that's the official, the Division. But you're crushing it, and you've defeated some of the likes of Maya World, Roche Chanel. A lot of names very familiar to the Mission Pro galaxy here. So, and we're hoping that here very soon you'll be defeating another person in San Antonio, Texas. We'll get to that in just a little bit. But we're super excited. Glad to have you here. And the chat's already popping in. Well, we just want to, for those people that aren't familiar with TGIF, Mia Friday, we have a little thing we like to do called Insta Insanity. And I say it's totally not ripping off of Sean Evans from Hot Ones. Totally not at all. But it's a lot of fun to get to know who is Mia Friday.
Well, called, it's Insta Insanity.
All right, Insta Insanity, the stories behind compelling Instagram photos. Tasteful, of course, you know, we're not going any crazy photos here. But all of your Instagram is fantastic. But there are some photos that I believe there's a story behind. And we're going to go ahead and start with one that looks really awesome. This one right here. Look at that smile. What's going on here?
That is me graduating from high school this past May with not only my high school diploma, but an associate's degree in fine arts. So
wow,
there it is. On top of already doing all of the crazy stuff that comes with professional wrestling, I got to say that I graduated high school with my associate's degree.
That is awesome. In addition, not just the high school diploma, but you already got the associate's degree. That's amazing. How do you balance that? And how do you explain to the teachers when you're coming in with bruises and I took a chair shot on Saturday? How do you have you had to explain any of your alter ego to your professors or your teachers?
Well, for a while I tried to keep it a secret just because I felt like they wouldn't believe, I just felt like there's no way they would even understand what I actually do. So for a while I tried keeping it a secret, and then eventually I wrestled at a local show, and one teacher went to it and sent pictures to all the other teachers, and eventually the whole school knew, and then I guess I can't hide it anymore.
See that teacher needs to get that the next pep rally. They should schedule or have an event where you're up there talking the pep rally, and then Roxanne Perez comes out or something, or it challenges you to prom night massacre or something. I don't know. That's my overbooking mind there, but yeah, that's I can't believe you want to hear about the likes of you and Billy Starks and a lot of these young talents starting very young. and like doing that. Like when I was in high school, I never thought that I could actually. That I always thought you had to go off and get tryouts, and I never thought that you'd be able to like you could lead that double life. And it's I think that's fantastic. I think it's awesome that that you're able to balance that and get your associates. What if wrestling goes sideways? What do you plan on doing? What do you plan on doing then? If
My
wrestling
plan
goes sideways,
has always been something with graphic design or video editing. I have my own graphic design business called Meteora Designs. I've been doing that for about 3 or 4 years now. And just ever since like the day I got a tablet when I was like 9 or 10, somehow I was already figuring out how to download little editing apps and do little editing stuff. And I've always just been obsessed with it. I always told myself if I never became a professional wrestler for some reason, I would always be the person that makes those little hype packages before the big match at SummerSlam,
yes,
WrestleMania. Those always got me so excited. So that's why I got my degree in arts, because eventually I'd like to even be able to do something like that while I'm still wrestling.
I think that would be tremendous. You could do those promo packages. Mia Friday, Maya World, the feud of the century. I think that would be tremendous. The then of course we got this.
Oh my goodness, I haven't seen this in. Oh my gosh, I gotta be like 12 or 13 here.
Look how stoked you are, though. What are the medals for? It looks like STEM. Was it robotics?
Yes, this had to have been like 7th or 8th grade, and I was, I believe, secretary of the robotics team. It was just a totally random, like, I had no clue like how I ended up doing that, but all I know is that I enjoyed it. And we got chosen to go all the way to nationals in Washington, D.C., and that's me with all of my little awards. And the crazy part is, I never did STEM before this and never did STEM after this. It was just...
But you were a natural. You just plugged right in. Did you have to solder your own circuit boards, or did they have like the Raspberry Pis that you plug and play with?
We had more of the nothing like crazy prodigy type of stuff. We were doing 7th, 8th grade type of plug-in type of stuff. But still, I'm a champ. I was a champ since before I even knew I was one.
Right, a champ is a champ, and undeniable. And speaking of other things that you're pretty awesome at, this is the picture on the right, and the picture is that you in the background on the picture on the left?
Yes.
All right, so little drummer girl, what's going on with that?
We're the Groovettes. We started maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Something happened whenever during the whole COVID-19 thing where I was stuck in my bedroom, and somehow I found metal music, I found punk, I found rock, and that changed my life. And that's when I started, during the pandemic, I started teaching myself how to play drums, and then eventually I started taking lessons. I found a couple of friends. The next thing you know, we're playing bars, we're playing all of these crazy shows in backyards and stuff. And it's just a dream come true. It's something that I never expected to find myself doing. And whenever I got that dream back in 2020, I didn't think, I was like, maybe one day I'll be in a band. I didn't expect everything to happen just to unfold so quick. Next thing you know, you're in a band. Next thing you know, like people around town are recognizing you. I'm like, I'm not ready for this rock star life. Like, I'm like 14.
Come on, leave me alone. No paparazzi, please. Okay, so video, you can do the graphic design, video packages. You could do the drum set of your own music if you want. You could do at least part of that. I mean, you could be both like Mikey Ruckus and as well as you could create your a whole production company and then build a robot to help manage it. And what this crew right here, is this the band, or is this just and look how happy and excited you are in this picture. You look, and the fact that the shirt says inspire, you look so inspiring in this photo.
Yes, this is my band, my two little besties. The thing about us is, like, I can't think of a single thing that we have in common. Not even music taste. Like I look, Calvin, he's the one on the left. He would come in with like a Gojira shirt, some kind of really like obscure metal band, and then Jacob on the right, his stuff is like 60s, 70s music, and
Yeah.
then there's me in the middle. I'm just like I'm the professional wrestler, Nicki Minaj, Metallica. Like I can't think of a single thing about us that we have in common yet. We always, when it was time to make music, we clicked.
I love this because the shirts, like you said, the shirts all tell a story. You've got this Inspire, and you're just like, come on, why are you taking my picture? And dude on the right, he's wearing the, I believe that whole getup is like from Matthew McConaughey from Dazed and Confused. All right. Let's go. Let's play our bongo drums. And then the dude on the left, Red Hot Chili Peppers, definitely. It's like, what a great mix. What a great mix of music styles there. I bet that made for some really cool songs. And did you guys just do covers, or did you have any original stuff? And do you have a demo tape?
Oh yeah, we actually have an EP, Apple Music, Spotify, and everything. We have an EP. It's called Calvin Goes to College. Calvin's the one on the left because he went to college, and then we just stopped making music.
Calvin Goes to College. That's the dark side. The dark side of the band. Calvin went to college, and then credits. That's you should. Okay. Your video package, you need to make a video package. What happened? What's the band name again?
The Groovettes.
The Groovettes. What happened to the Groovettes? Calvin went to college and he had to go. Very cool. This is cool. And I think I see her in the back.
Yes, you do.
All right. Did you have wrestling buddies when you were a little kid?
I'm too young for that. I'm only 8. I was born in 05. Like when I was born, like wrestling buddies, I had never even heard of them.
But how does it feel to have your own wrestling buddy?
I was freaking out when people were wearing my T-shirt. So when little girls they would come to a show and they would have their little Mia Friday buddies in their hand. I could not, I couldn't process it. I'm like, that's me. And it looks like me too. I'm like, yeah, that's me.
Got TGIF right there.
Yeah, it was, my dad surprised me with these. I'm pretty sure my dad had wrestle buddies growing up. And he was like, hey, open the box. I'm like, what am I going to do with 50 Mia Friday wrestle buddy? It was so cool.
Well, it is. Your character is an inspiration to young female girls interested in wrestling. And you never know who you might inspire to become a wrestler. I mean, the fact that you are proof that you can do it at the high school. In high school, you can manage those things. And so your character, Mia Friday, that you've everybody says in wrestling, your best character is like an enhanced version of yourself. So what are the differences, or is the Mia Friday character essentially that, or is there more to that character that you're developing?
I feel like the Mia Friday character, she kind of develops the older I get, because the crazy thing about growing up in the wrestling business is you're still trying to figure out who you are. So it's kind of weird. Like the whole wrestling scene's gotta watch you try to figure out who you are. But Mia Friday has always been just that happy, energetic part of me, that kind of happiness that I feel whenever I watch wrestling. It's always that part of me just turned up to 1,000, because like I told you, I love the metal music. I play in a punk rock band, so there is that opposite part of me, but I just love to bring out it's kind of me unleashing all of that passion that I have for professional wrestling. And it's always just been about the bright colors. I loved Candice LeRae growing up. I would Google all of her matches on YouTube, all of her intergender stuff. And I wanted to copy the bright colors, her and Bailey. And it's kind of me just fangirling is what my character is on.
So there seems to be a parallel, you and the current Mission Pro champion, Izzy Moreno, which she still is everybody's BFF, but she had to ditch that for that hardcore match she had with JP Harlow. So could there be a team up sometime down the road with you and Izzy? That might be something to consider.
Yeah, everybody always talks about that. Me and Izzy met once. I came down to train in San Antonio and she happened to be there. And like we hit it off. Like we're cool and she's so cool. And you know, anytime like people think about her, they tell me like why aren't y'all teaming up? Why haven't y'all wrestled? I'm like, you tell me, because I'm ready for that. I remember like when I was just starting training, I remember seeing her doing her thing, and I felt like I was like, that's my competition. That's my comp because like I know she's going to make it. So
Well,
like now I gotta watch out for her when I make it, you know.
well, that's and yeah. We got a question here. Like, what about? Are you still going to be cool when you defeat her for the Mission Pro title someday? Oh, already starting mess.
Girl,
Well, I mean, you know, I mean, you're going to be at the midsummer heat coming up, but what's going to be what's Midsummer Blast? But after that, you know, maybe another win, and you've been racking up some W's all around the country, so maybe a title match is in your future.
Hey, I mean, I started when I was 13. I don't know the answer. I may have a few more years on her in experience, you know, not to mention a couple more title wins, a couple more trips to Japan, but I won't get into that. But
Yep,
no,
yeah.
but I'm just but I would love to wrestle her anytime, any place.
I think that would be awesome. This looks like an awesome moment. Is this your local radio station?
Yes, every morning I would listen. Me and my mom would sing One Direction on the way to school. That's always been my radio station.
You don't know you're beautiful? Are you busting out the song? Is that your go-to?
Yes, exactly.
Awesome. And speaking of Japan,
Oh.
am I making you homesick for? Or not? I guess not homesick, but Japan sick.
They were all so sweet, and that country's so beautiful, and the food's so good.
Everybody says the food is fantastic.
Oh my gosh. My parents, they didn't like it. They were the ones that kept walking to the Burger King or the McDonald's. I was the one who wanted to actually try the authentic food. I love Asian food. I'm like a quarter, like half Filipino. So like I'm Southeast Asian, but still I'm Asian. I want my white rice. I want my chicken. And all those girls were so sweet. The girl on the far left, her name is Yappy. She was the only one who really spoke English. And so she would be the one who walked me through everything, make sure I was comfortable. It was never like people always told me like, oh, you know, you're gonna get like your butt kicked, right? You know, like they're gonna beat you up, they're gonna yell at you, and it was none of that. It was the opposite. It was still tough. Don't get me wrong. I was still like so sore I could barely walk, but that experience was awesome.
That's the Japanese strong style. Is that what they taught you, or was it just kind of? And how was it wrestling? I mean, not did you have to learn some Japanese, or was it more just intuition, or how did the communication go with your opponents?
I learned a couple of Japanese words here and there, but mostly communicating with somebody, it's just like it's so hard to describe. It's just wrestling is somehow a universal language. You know, you watch somebody go like, and I'm like, oh, I know what you mean.
Yeah. Was it Nyla Rose said she would bring Barbie dolls with her to Japan just to demonstrate the moves, because she would try to describe them and they would go nani, and then she would take the dolls and do like a sunset flip or something. They go So I don't know, maybe that could help, but that's cool. And do you plan on going back to Japan again anytime soon?
There's no plans right now, but it's definitely something where like the door was always open, you know, they welcome me back anytime. And it's something where like, I want to do it again. And I especially want to do it whenever I'm a little bit older too. And I told myself like one of these days, I feel like I'm going to end up living there. I feel like I have these dreams of being in stardom, and I really believe like somehow, even though it's not what like I'm directly focused on right now, somehow I could just feel like at some point in my life I'm gonna end up there. It feels like my calling.
between Stardom, CMLL or AAA or AEW, WWE, TNA, if you had a choice right now to get a title shot in any of the major promotions, which would you prefer?
Oh, see, like that's not right, just because you.
I'm sorry.
You know what? Save WWE, AEW for when I'm a little bit older. That's what I'm thinking. And right now, I really want to go to Mexico. I'm thinking
Wow.
I want to see a title shot because that's something I like. If you my matches, all I really watch nowadays is just so much different lucha wrestling from the 80s all the way to today. It's all that I watch. It's kind of like I remember Sasha Banks talking about how she found lucha wrestling and she just couldn't stop watching it. That's kind of like the stage that I feel like I'm in right now, where it's all I want to try whenever I get to training. It's all that I want to watch. And right now, like if my heart's set on that, I want to live out that dream. That's how my whole mindset's been. Like with the graphic design business, with becoming a drummer, playing in a band, I have my heart set on this right now, and I want to go.
I think that'd be tremendous. And the moves, the lucha moves. In fact, I got my 78-year-old mom into watching wrestling by watching the Lucha Brothers, by introducing her, and Stephanie Vacour, who just went to WWE, the crazy stuff that she would do. I would love to see a female version of Rey Fenix or Rey Mysterio, someone that can do those high flying moves. And I don't know if you would ever consider doing a mask. I don't know if that would fit the Mia Friday Carol. If you have an alter ego like La Chica de, I don't know, de Oi Oi or something like that. I don't know.
No, I've been wanting to wear a mask, and I keep telling people, I'm like, y'all, I think I want to wear a mask, and they're like, what are you talking about? I'm like, no, I don't know how to explain it. I want to wear a mask.
Yeah, the tradition, it's a proud tradition, and I think that would be awesome. But again, you can't fight the alter ego that is this person, the glamorous one. Now, I got mad respect for the Danglies. Is that a nod to the Young Bucks on the left there a little bit?
No.
I mean, Nicholas and Matthew Jackson would be in awe of those Danglies on that hat.
Oh my gosh. This part of me, you maybe 2 or 3 times out of the year at most. And I wasn't even going to go to prom or homecoming. That's what's on the left. That picture, I did not want to go. I don't know if you can see it well, but my upper lip is black because I was in the mosh pit the night before and I got my lip busted open.
Yes, that's awesome.
So I did not want to go. And on the right, I had to cancel a booking for that. So this part of me, this is only thanks to my parents for trying to get me to live a normal life.
This is for the parents, right? Mom and dad saying, no, you gotta go to prom. You gotta go. Yeah. Did you ever feel like starting a mosh pit at homecoming or prom and all right, hey, slip the band, $20 and say, all right, let's get a little Black Flag in here. I think that's fantastic. Of course, this is such a cool moment here. But tell us, how did you feel finding this out?
I don't remember how I found out. I don't remember who told me. I remember when everybody was screenshotting the picture of them and posting it. I was like, I'm not even gonna check to see if I'm in there. There's no way. So whenever I saw that I was even on there, let alone to have that number, I was like, oh well, maybe I'm better than what I was giving myself credit for. So this was so cool. Sometimes I feel like I'm kind of known around Texas and it ends there. So to have this happen, it kind of opened my eyes. I was really down on myself at this point, and to get to see all this, I'm like, maybe I'm not that one random wrestler chick from Bryan, Texas, maybe a little bit more.
Well, maybe see that's that divine magnet again, right? When you're starting to doubt yourself, that imposter syndrome is creeping in, something like that pops in and happens, and it gets that, like, it powers you back up. And let's be honest, I mean, the Texas independent wrestling scene is tremendous, and you know, not that I'm a little biased, but you know, there's a wrestling promotion in San Antonio that's a all female promotion. That's really kind of the one of the it's where the cream rises to the top, as Macho would say. And I know that you're going to be showing up at Midsummer Blast very soon. We'll be talking about that in just a little bit, but you know, take your flowers. I think that's you being recognized for the all-star that you are. I mean, I've been watching some of your matches again recently just to catch up, and you know, you put on a banger with Maya World. You put on an incredible show. You and Roxanne Perez tagged together against, I think it was Rashay Chanel and Ladybird. Yeah. I mean, that was one of my favorites right there. And you guys did the whole thing, the hot tag, and then you came in and it's Happy Friday, and boom, it took Rochelle out. I thought that was tremendous. Oh, there's Pepe's going, oh yeah, cream rises to the top. Oh yeah. But yes, so how do you feel about where women's wrestling is now, the independent scene, and just kind of, you know, is it better? Are we kind of in a renaissance? Is there room for us to grow? Because a lot less people are calling women's wrestling the popcorn match. In fact, when I go to independent shows, the ladies are usually the ones stealing the show. And I love that. In fact, I have a great story. I was in an independent show in North Carolina, and the midway, there was only one women's match, but halfway through it, the women got in there and they brought the house down. It was tremendous. It was like top tier WWE, AEW level wrestling, and you could see the guys in the back that haven't gone out yet. They're peeking around the curtain, going, man, we got to step this up. I mean, come here, we got to. Let's do some Canadian destroyers or something here. So, do you feel like women's wrestling is evolving to where it should be? Is there still some room to grow? And what are your thoughts on that? And what have been your experiences?
I love that word you used when you said renaissance. I think that's the perfect way to describe it. Like you said, like when you talk about that experience you had in North Carolina, that's the way I feel like it's happening all around the globe right now. Women's wrestling, I feel like it's magic. And it's, in some parts, it's not even about proving ourselves anymore. It's just going out and doing what we were taught to do, you know, because I feel like at some point in my career, it was just about fighting to get the crowd to pay attention. Mm-hmm. But when nowadays, like, especially when I started working at Mission Pro, I was like, oh, okay, like I don't got to like fight for their attention for the seats that they paid for. You know, they already respect women's wrestling to begin with. Now we're able to just be ourselves and do, like, you know, do our thing. And I truly believe, I think this has got to be the best, I guess you would say, era of women's wrestling.
I like renaissance. It is kind of like, and you know, kudos to the ladies that have paved the way. You know, the Jazz and you know, the like Ivory, and you know, you could even say, you know, Trish Stratus and Lita, you know, Lou Fisto. A lot of the ladies that really have paved the way. And do you feel safer now when you go to an independent promotion? Do you feel protected? Is the locker room? I mean, I'm sure there's still some cutthroats. It can be cutthroat business. It's entertainment. But I know, like, places like Mission Pro and other locker rooms, do you feel like there's more of a sisterhood or a camaraderie and uplifting it's like, you know, all ships rise with the tide kind of thing?
I love it. I love the sisterhood. It's something that I didn't have whenever I first started working. I was the only girl at my my school. So whenever we would run shows or be at training, I didn't like you need to just have that sisterhood. You need to have that shared experience with somebody. So whenever I came to, to Mission Pro, to Reality of Wrestling, these places that are giving, first of all, not more than just one women's wrestling match. You have a little bit of a bigger locker room. They taught me how to do my makeup. They gave me gear advice. I love how, and not just among the girls too. I think what's really cool, and I feel like the internet is to thank for this, is guys are much more protective of the girls. Not really in like a making them feel uncomfortable, like a crowding them type of way.
Like a brother kind of sticking up for the baby girl, baby sister kind of thing, or the sister, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Like I was just walking like outside the venue and this car like just starts driving up real slow next to me. And then I see like another wrestler outside taking a smoke. I'm like, here you go. I just hide behind. I'm like, and he's like,
he just was like, can I help you? You got this like 6'8" guy come walking over and talks. The guy keeps driving like, oh no, I didn't say nothing. You mess with the whole locker room if you mess with one of them. That definitely. That's cool. Do you feel how important is representation in wrestling? And I don't just mean like specific, like just in general, like personalities and just having and like with like mixed tags or intergender matches. Like, what's been your take on that? So, and do you feel like we're in a place where that's become part of that renaissance, or is that still something that needs to catch on?
I feel like intergender wrestling, that's like a huge part of how I fell in love with wrestling when I talked about like Candice LeRae and things like that. I still feel like it's not where it could be. I have so much respect for the promotions that do it, and then you drive out like another hour away and you're in that part of Texas and they're like, hell no, like we would never do that. So it's still something that like I feel needs to become more accepted, but to what it is now, I'm so excited about it. And the fact that like I get to work a couple of those matches, I'm like, oh, okay, I never thought I'd be able to do that. That's so awesome. And when it comes to, there's a great question you asked me before that.
Representation?
Yes. If it weren't for representation, I would not be standing here right now. I'm one of those people who, like, I loved wrestling, but I never saw myself doing it. And then WrestleMania 32, I'm there in person all the way up in the nosebleeds, and I see Sasha Banks coming down the ramp. That meant so much to me. There was no biracial girl on TV. And when I saw her, I felt like her, She was biracial, but she was also a nerd, but she was so cool. And that's what changed everything for me. My favorite wrestler growing up was John Cena. I look nothing like him. So therefore I was like, wow, that's cool. I wouldn't do that. And then when I see her doing it, that changed everything for me. So representation, it can go such a long way, because professional wrestling, that gave me a purpose. That made me happy whenever I was going through hard times. So seeing that one person up on the stage who you may identify with or see a little bit of yourself in, that makes all the difference.
And how does it feel that you may actually be that representation for other little girls watching your match or catching you on a promotion somewhere?
It's so wild. It almost brings me to tears, because you kind of understand, like, this is why I do the long drive. This is why all the bruises and the cuts and the injuries, this is what it's all for. I was wrestling in North Carolina, and I met this little biracial baby, and she had glasses just like how I had the big glasses when I was her age. And I saw so much of myself in her. And she sent me I sent her a Wrestle Buddy in the mail, and then she wrote me this cutest letter back, and I was tearing up. It was so cool because she was just like, like, you inspire me, you mean a lot to me. I'm like, oh, that's what I would write to Sasha Banks, when I was 10. So that means everything.
That is so cool. That is so cool. That's what this is all about. Chat's loving this. That's awesome. Yeah, absolutely. And that's what doesn't that make the drive worth it? Even if you get to stop at Buc-ee's or somewhere, and are you team Buc-ee's or are you not a Buc-ee's fan?
No, Bucky's all the way. I might have worn it out though. I did it after like every single show, but then you realize once you work like 2 or 3 times a week, like I wore myself out of it too quick. But I'm still Bucky's all the way.
Got it. So you're still team Buc-ee's. Well, I'd like to get your thoughts on. I want to continue to talk about your perspective on women's wrestling, but I'd like to get your thoughts as I go through the women's wrestling news from this past week and kind of get your perspectives and whether or not you've been keeping up with any of the promotions or not. It just in your opinion on some of the stuff. And let's start with the week in women's wrestling. All right, women's wrestling news. Da, 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 da. I am your Ron Burgundy, and with me is Mia Friday. She's filling in for Veronica Corningstone. And here we go. The first item here is we're talking All In. 2 big matches were announced in the women's division. The first one is Britt Baker going against your inspiration, the now named Mercedes Moné, the former Sasha Banks, for the TBS title at All In, where All In London, that's kind of becoming AEW's WrestleMania all of a sudden. It's starting to evolve. But couple things here. Wednesday night on Dynamite, Britt Baker was attacked by the re-debuting Camille Brickhouse. Are you familiar with Camille? Yes. Have you wrestled her before?
Never wrestled her, but I've been following her on Instagram and seeing all of her stuff.
Yeah, she now is AEW. She got the All Elite graphic, and she's essentially Mercedes Moné's muscle. And I think that's tremendous. And in fact, they even crashed Comic-Con yesterday at San Diego, dressed as Poison Ivy and Bane. and what's funny, and I didn't get the clip, but you got to watch the clip where they storm the stage, and the reactions from Tony Storm and Swerve are just priceless. They're like it's none of my business. I'm staying out of this. But a lot of people speculating that a returning Jamie Hayter may also show up at All In, and we might end up after that get a tag feud between Britt and Jamie Hayter and Mercedes Moné and Camille. Do you have any thoughts on any of the wrestlers here? Would you be interested in checking this match out on at All In?
Oh yeah, I will be. I will. If anything, I'm watching it just for this. Whenever I scroll through Instagram and I see that Mercedes had a match, I'm like, oh, I gotta turn it on. What am I doing? So that no matter what, even if I'm busy, I always gotta make time for the GOAT. So this is gonna be really good.
It is.
Ooh, because I've been waiting for. I was so excited when she wrestled Stephanie, and all of the possibilities of even more. I forget how deep the women's division is, how it really all the talent that they have, and I'm like, oh, okay, so we can get Britt, we can get we could even get maybe Jamie one day. I would love that, and it reminds me that I'm so excited for her run as champion.
Yep, and one thing there's the character. The CEO, she's definitely leaning heel, but what she's saying a lot of times it's what a lot of the wrestlers in the promotions do is they talk about underneath it all the kayfabe aside, how they're here to lift up the division, and she's talking about how she's taking this TBS title worldwide. And if there's anybody, she definitely has the clout. She's been to Japan, she's been to Mexico, she's wrestled out, and of course she's going to be in the UK too. She's taking this championship worldwide, and I think that's so important because it's giving, not only is it lifting the women's division up, but it's getting that global exposure. And she's been such a tremendous addition to AEW, worth whatever they're paying her. I know they're paying her a lot, but I think you'd agree she's worth it.
Oh yeah. When I think of like back to what I was saying about representation, I think part of the reason why I want to go to Mexico, want to go to Japan, is just I watch her in the ring. I'm like, she's the GOAT. She is the GOAT. So I feel like Like, I want to go do what she did. I want to go silent on social media for a few weeks, come back from Mexico, just being the GOAT. I want something like, even though I've already been wrestling for a couple of years, I've done a couple of cool things. Whenever I turn on the TV, I'm just like wow.
No,
So
it's cool. It's really cool. She's tremendous, and I think the women's division in AEW is better for it. Still, though, there are other superstars in the women's division, like Miss Toni Storm, the timeless Toni Storm, and Mariah May, who turned on her recently when Mariah May won the Owen Hart Cup women's division. And it turned on her friend Toni Storm, stabbed her in the head with a shoe. And now Toni Storm is ticked. So Mariah May has her title shot against Toni. And Toni was at San Diego Comic-Con. You got to check the video out because you got Will Ospreay and Swerve on either side of her. And she says, at London, I'm going to doom her womb. Their reactions, like they both do a double take, and it's the two of them, Swerve and Will, are hilarious. But yeah, she's looking to doom her womb. Mariah May, Toni Storm. Have you been watching much of the Toni Storm timeless black and white kind of old school thing? Have you been keeping up with that much?
I've been keeping up with it as much as I can, and from what I've seen, I love it.
Well, you act like you're busy also, getting your associate's degree and high school diploma and playing in a band and doing all these other things. It's not like you're busy or something. But yeah, it's interesting too, how this is going to play out. Predictions here. First prediction. You think Mercedes is going to lose to Britt, or does she retain the TBS title?
There's no way she drops it that quick because she just won it at this past pay-per-view, technically, right?
And well, Forbidden Door, she defended it against Fakura, but right. she won the New Japan women's title. But right. I think that's I went the other way. I think that she keeps it. I think she keeps the TBS title. Toni Storm, does she retain, or is it Mariah May's turn to? And Mariah May is from the UK, where Toni Storm is Australian, but she's actually from Hollywood, old school Hollywood is what she says. Do you think it's time for Toni to drop to Mariah May, or does she retain?
I think it's time for her to drop it. I can't remember how long she's been champ, but it's been a hot minute, if I can remember. And I really think they've been investing so much into the story to build up Mariah, because I believe she just came off of Stardom whenever she got signed to AEW.
Yes.
And I remember they really hyped her up. And so I feel like with all the energy they put into her and into the storyline, I think it's Mariah.
I think you're right. I think it's time. I love that they have a relationship with Stardom. Mina Shirakawa came over for a little bit, and they did their Club Venus thing for a while too. I thought that was pretty cool. Very cool. Yeah, these are two matches I'm really looking forward to. This actually happened tonight. In fact, this is going on while we are talking. Is Death Before Dishonor, the Ring of Honor card. Some awesome matches. Some of my favorite ladies are right here. Some of my favorite female wrestlers. I mean, Athena. I don't know if you've been watching Ring of Honor, but you could make a case that Athena has been carrying Ring of Honor on her shoulders for almost a year. The stuff that she's doing with Billy Starks, Queen Aminata getting a title match. Our girl Red Velvet, a Mission Pro OG she was facing Billy Starks, and I want to get your thoughts on death matches and hardcore matches, because Diamante versus Layla Hirsch, Texas death match. Where are you at with ladies and those death matches? Have you done a blood spot or busted open spot? And Do you think that we may need we're ready for a women's blood and guts or war games?
Oh, war games would be cool. I don't think I've ever done a spot like that. I might have gotten busted open without knowing, but never
The hard way.
But I think it's pretty cool. I know a lot of people, they're still like, I feel like how wrestling fans feel about it is they want to see it, but they don't know how to feel about it yet. Like people have been talking for a while about how cool it would be if the girls did it, and then once they do it, they're like, oh, why'd they do that? So I think it's something they gotta get used to. I think it's pretty cool. And
yeah, I think so too.
Yeah.
And blood, I think it needs to be sparingly. Like, you can oversaturate, like, you can be too much, but like it makes, if you don't do it too much, it has an impact when it happens. You know, when someone's nose gets busted open, or Britt Baker gets dropped on the thing, or Hikaru Shida, she starts bleeding. You know, it makes for compelling storytelling. So I think if done right, you could do something like that, and it's, you know, these kind of matches are great for those big feud blow-offs where you've been feuding with somebody, and it's like, all right, like Maya World, Mia Friday, Texas Death Match. We're gonna have a San Antonio Stampede match or something like that. What's your favorite? Besides, without saying Royal Rumble, what's your favorite gimmick match?
See, the thing is, I cannot stand gimmick matches, like any of them. Oh, it makes me so mad. And let it be 2 out of 3 falls, something like that, something like elimination, something complicated like that. Cannot stand it. So if you, would a tornado tag count?
Yeah, okay, we'll let that count. Yeah,
those are fun. That's chaos. I like chaos.
Yeah, because that's just anything goes. It's just tag team back. You know, there's no tagging in. It's just go 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 go. I love tag team matches almost. I think I like tag teams more than singles, just because the hot tag. There's so much that can go on, and you know, I don't know. There's something about that I think is pretty cool. Of course, the Royal Rumble. That's my favorite gimmick match, if you have to call it. So yeah, this one went on. I'm not spoiled. I'm not spoiling anybody if you haven't watched Death Before Dishonor, but I do one spoiler. Marina Shafir had like a 1:30 match against Angelica Risk. Bless her heart. I don't think she's dead, but I think this was her new move called the Mother's Milk. And Angelica Risk, have you wrestled Angelica Risk before? Are you aware of her? She was talking some mad smack, but it didn't take long for her to go nighty night. And so our thoughts and prayers are with Angelica Risk. Marina Shafir's one that I've liked, but she's had trouble getting going with her character. But she's another one of those that I think less is more as far as talking, you know, because she's one of those, like, she doesn't need to cut a promo. She can just stand there and look at you, like, you know, with the eyes like, you know, like this, and just be a terror. So I think I don't know if you thought, do you have a favorite submission move that you like to dish out? Is there the Friday's over, or the Friday 4 leg lock or something like that?
So I got this from, like, this was the day of, like, in the locker room. I was like, I need a name for just a submission. And this guy was like, think about it, week end, like WEAK -end. I'm like, that's like really corny, but I need something quick. So It's called the weekend, and it's just a tequila sunrise. It was my dad's idea. He, he's a wrestling fan. Of course, he's gonna give me out move ideas. He's like, you should do the tequila sunrise. You know what? Like, I feel like every good wrestler has some kind of submission that they pull out. So I've made the tequila sunrise kind of just my little go-to.
Nice. There you go. That's your nice finisher that you have there. SummerSlam has got 2 very marquee matches here. I don't know if you've been following the with Rhea Ripley taking some time off. Liv Morgan has been flirting big time with Dominic Mysterio. Then Mommy returned and made Dom tell Liv to kick rocks. So this is going to be an interesting match. I mean, Rhea Ripley, come on. Yeah, she's tremendous. But Liv Morgan has really done great character work in addition to her wrestling. And then the other one we've got down here, Nia Jax and Bailey. And what's interesting about this is at first glance, I'm kind of not impressed. But until you watch back the video package of the feud and how really heated, and they almost kind of walked the line of kayfabe and shoot a little bit, because Bailey said, I don't know if you saw where Bailey said the line like, "You're not big and tough. You're dangerous because of all the people you've injured." Like Kari Sane, referring to like Kari Sane and the other people that, I think Alexa Bliss and, anybody that's been following the criticisms of Nia Jax, they know that history. So I don't know how much of that was like walking that kayfabe shoot line, but it really hyped, because Nia Jax was not happy about that, and that's really fired her up. So I think this is going to be pretty interesting. What are your thoughts on these talents here at all? Do you have any who's your favorite out of these ladies?
Ooh, just wrestler, like alone?
Or anything. And yeah, I mean, I know you mentioned Bailey before, but if you had to pick one to be your tag team partner and one to be your opponent, who would you pick?
Out of these four?
Yes. Not Dom. Dom doesn't count. I know he's got long hair, but Dom doesn't count.
Okay. Tag partner Bailey, because that's my girl.
Oh, you guys would vibe very well.
And opponent, I'm gonna go with Liv, because I really do love what she does in the ring. I like her style. I like how bouncy it is. It's like I study her because she's not the most athletic, but she still does like really cool stuff. That's what I feel like I'm in. I feel like I'm just bones rattling, and so I feel like
you're more than that.
up to like how she speaks to her strengths in her matches. I love it, like all of her moves and the way she works. I love all that she does. Like you said, I wasn't really feeling this Bailey and Nia Jax like right off the bat, but after you told me about the little promo battle, I don't know.
Yeah, she went there, and like if you could catch it on YouTube, you can see. I don't think Nia was ready for the line. Maybe she was. She's just good at acting, but you could see her kind of go, "This bitch," like she got this look on her face, like, "Oh no, not having it." And kudos to them for hyping it up, because this is one that could be very, very interesting. How important is it to have a skilled dance partner when you're wrestling a singles or tag match, and having that skilled partner? Because sometimes it's not just your ability, it's what you can do with your opponent. And how satisfying is it when you have that dance partner that's just ready to bring the house down?
Oh man, it's so good, man. You feel so good about yourself afterwards. Like, I feel like for that right now, for me, it's London Dior. It's just we're not even like really like close like that, and we train at different schools, and we don't really like talk that much. Every time we get together though, it's chemistry. It's so good. I feel like we were trained the same way too, and I like our two different styles go perfect with each other. And I get mad at people sometimes. They're like, "Oh, this wrestler sucks." I'm like, "No, I know they're good. You just got to give them like the right opponent." Like, there's some people where, like, of course every wrestler wants to be so good that they have a great match no matter who they work, but like there's times where like wrestlers get painted in a negative light, but they just need like a good dance partner. I think about like the Divas era. You think about all the wrestlers that sticked out. People are like, "Well, they never even had a good match." I'm like, "Well, look who they were working with."
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, if you're wrestling a sack of potatoes, there's only so much that you can do. But on the flip side too, like you look at wrestlers like a John Moxley, who he admits he can't do a lot of moves, but what he does is he does what's in his wheelhouse, and he'll adapt to his dance partner. Your match with Maya World is one of my favorite matches because both of you came to work. I mean, I'm not saying that your other matches aren't like that either, but it's like just there's a chemistry between the two of you. London Dior, yes, you can see that chemistry that you guys have. Tell London next time you talk to her. I'm lobbying for her, London Dior, and Riche Chanel to be a tag team because Dior and Chanel, and they need to have a little pet dog named Gucci in a bag. And just be, they could be the Fashionistas or something.
Ooh, that would be good. That's
and
perfect.
Hey, Fashionistas versus BFF TGI BFF or something. You and Izzy. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm getting almost as bad as your dad with the Weekender. So we got to get you and Izzy in a tag team match against them. Maybe at the next Mission Pro. We'll do that. Got to talk about injuries. One of the worst things that could really just kill. And we've had some injuries, updates. Sky Blue, bless her heart. She and it was a freak accident where Sheeta came down on her and broke her ankle. She's going to be out for a while. Riho broke her. Looks like she broke her arm and she's going to be out for a bit. Asuka is in recovery, but she was still able to show up at the WWE Japanese live show. She was able to at least come out there and say hi. But what a lot of people are excited about is this was on Julia Hart's Instagram, and she's hinting that her return is imminent. So we might be seeing Julia Hart from the House of Black returning. And what a transformation too. You talk about characters. When Julia came out as the cheerleader, and I don't know if you heard the story where she talked to Malachi Black about joining the House of Black instead, and she talked to Brody King, and Brody King's like, "What music do you listen to?" And he's expecting One Direction, Taylor Swift, and she starts talking about all these metal bands, and they're like, "Whoa, yeah, you fit right in with us." And so she's now the Black Heart, if you will. Injuries. I don't even want to talk about it too much to jinx anything, but do you ever feel like you have to work hurt? Or and what's the difference? And on the flip side, do you feel like the wrestling business is paying much more attention, like it should, to injury care? There are a lot of the concussion things protocols are out now versus way before. What's your take on injuries and how the wrestling industry treats them?
Oof, normally I speak positive about everything, but I don't know about this one because this is just from as an independent wrestler.
Yeah.
You get hurt, especially the people who they make independent wrestling their full-time job. When you get hurt, that's just that's no food on the table. And it's too much nowadays. I see wrestlers working through injuries, and it's not like, the thing about independent wrestling, is you're not the promoter's not going to cover it. There's not really any cover it. You're not signed to anybody. And it's really weird because it's we don't really talk about it that much, but it's just whenever you get concussed, or get any kind of injury, you kind of just sweep it under the rug and just try to keep working around it. It's crazy. I remember seeing on Lainey Luck's Twitter, she I think she broke her elbow, and then she came back almost too quick, and everybody's like, "Girl, what are you doing?" And she's like, this is what I do.
Yeah.
And I wish and I think I even might have done for my speech class, I might have talked about this, healthcare and pro wrestling. I did a PowerPoint over it, but it's just really hard to think of a solution you can do for that, because I truly believe you're obviously the quality of the match that you put out isn't going to be the same when you're dealing with a whole bunch of different injuries.
it almost feels like, because you get signed to a major promotion. A lot of times they have things, healthcare. They have Doc Samson at AEW's right there. You've got all the guys, but the independent promotions, what is there for them other than you go on your spouse? They're likely another wrestler, so what if they don't have an insurance? It's almost like we need. I mean, one could. I don't. Not. This is not a politics thing, but just one could argue this is a case for healthcare, a healthcare system that's free, at least the basic needs. And maybe there's I don't know if there's companies out there that'd be cool to have a company that specializes specifically in insurance for independent wrestlers.
Ooh, right.
Now I don't know if that would then encourage everybody to become Darby Allin all of a sudden, but getting hit by buses. But that maybe that'd be something to set up, and if there's an ambitious startup person out there, maybe that would be something to have. But because that's such a tragedy. Guys like Eddie Guerrero, and the horrible thing that happened with Chris Benoit. When people they work hurt, it's gonna kill you.
That's right.
Well, on a happier note, let's Wedding Bells. TNA, I don't know if you followed any of TNA, but Steph DeLander and PCO are having the wedding. They're getting married next Thursday. This whole Bride of Frankenstein gimmick has just been tremendous. If you haven't had a chance to check it out, go check it out. Brian actually has a great comment. Most insurances don't want to cover wrestling at all. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I would want to insure Darby Allin. I don't know if I'd want to insure Matt Hart or Jeff Hardy. I mean, that would be scary. Heck, I don't know if I don't know. Sometimes Thunder Rosa gets a little scary too. I don't know if, some of the stuff she decides to do. But have you been following any TNA at all, or what do you think of this kind of gimmick? And in general, like the balance between comedy in wrestling. I mean, some people feel like too much comedy takes away from the seriousness of it, or is it all entertainment? Is it something for everybody? What's your take on that?
I mean, it's all at the end of the day, you want to be entertained. I don't get in my opinion, I think the more lighthearted things are, the better. I mean, it's wrestling. It's already stupid enough we're out here I like it. I like it. And I don't I've been seeing all this on social media and it just looks funny. That's I feel like if I had to say I'm a middle-aged guy, I come home from a long day, I turn on the TV and I just see them doing this stuff, I'll be like, oh, okay.
Yes, there's room for Danhausen. Yes. Or be cursed. Yes, very much. And now, but I think the match, we talked about a lot of different matches that we're excited for, a lot of things going on. But a match that I think that I'm very excited about, Midsummer Blast, Rebel Kel. Does she know what she's getting herself into? Rebel Kel? I
don't think I don't think she has a clue. But to be honest, neither do I. I feel like we're on two I don't know where she's based out of, but I feel like we're on two completely opposite ends of the independent circuit. And I kind of like that. I kind of like how I don't really know what I'm getting myself into, and it's exciting.
It is. But it's also like an inevitable clash. You go do the independent tour long enough, you're eventually going to wrestle. You're going to find these matches, find these matchups. But Mia Friday, you got a message for Rebel Kel? You want to look in the camera and give her a little bit of what's going on, what your thoughts are for Midsummer Blast?
I'm just gonna say, as simple as I can put it, I'll see you then, girl.
There you go. She's gonna beat you like a drum.
Hey,
she's gonna beat you like the drum set she's got. You know what you need to do? Get your drum set, put a picture of her face on the drum set and be like,
no.
Yeah, that's again. You're the baby face though, so I guess you got to be the. I really hope we all have fun. But I'm still gonna beat your ass. Well, that is awesome, excellent stuff. Now, just like as RJ City would say, Mia Friday. This has been so much. We so excited. We so excited. Fun, fun, fun. Looking forward to the weekend. Looking forward to Midsummer Blast. I know you're sick of that Rebecca Black song. You got to be sick of that by now. Have you heard the metal cover for that?
Oh my gosh!
There's a couple metal covers. It's like it's Friday. It's pretty awesome. But anyway, yep. Mind Runner's starting to start drama. I'm just talking about the match. I'm just excited about it, just like everybody else. Oh, Rebel Kel will get that Black Friday special.
Hey, everybody in here trying to get.
Well, she's going to be getting the TGIF, even though it'll be on a Saturday, I think, instead of a Friday. But Mia, this has been such a great chat. Thank you so much for hanging. I can't believe it's right around the corner. We're excited for you. Make sure that you get your tickets. If you're going to be in the San Antonio area, make sure you get your tickets for Midsummer Blast. If not, you can watch it live stream on Title Match Network and also join us in the hashtag chat, MPW Midsummer Blast. We're going to be taking pictures, got all kinds of talking trash and everything. You know that it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. And this is, again, another chapter in Mia Friday's career. What's next? Will she be going back to Japan? Will she be showing up at Ring of Honor to give Athena what for? Maybe she might be. Maybe we're going to get that dream match. I'm going to book it right now. Within the next 5 years, I'm having a vision. We're going to have Mia Friday versus Mercedes Moné. Book it. We're going to get that match.
Oh, speaking into existence. Yes.
Manifestation. It's going to happen. Well, Mia, any final thoughts for everybody out there?
Everybody, I have a pro wrestling tee store. You know, like I'm 18, I'm broke, got no job. Go hit type in Mia Friday in prowrestlingtees.com. Follow me on Instagram at It's Mia Friday, Facebook, Twitter, the same thing at It's Mia Friday.
There you go. It's Mia Friday. Which do you prefer? Instagram, Facebook, X? What's your favorite? Instagram all the way. Well, on behalf of Mia Friday, this is Mind Runner, not Mid Runner, as Thunder Rosa likes to call me. I am excited to see. Oh, it's Bobby saying Mia Friday versus Billy Starks. Very cool. Also, sponsorships are available, for Mia Friday. If you have for Mission Pro, if you want to sponsor Mia or you want to sponsor the match, you can reach out to Mission Pro Wrestling. On behalf of Mia Friday, I'm Mind Runner. Have a great night, and we'll see you next time.